Costco always feels like a shopper's paradise. Giant packages, eye-catching low prices. Everything makes you feel like you're buying smart and saving big. But behind those overflowing shelves, there's a hidden truth most people never see. Costco employees see everything. They know which items sit on the shelf way too long, which ones get returned over and over, which ones go bad before you even get them home. And they're the first ones to stay away from products that look like the best deals. Once you know the truth, you realize bigger isn't always better. Subscribe to the channel to get notified of the latest videos. Wow! 1. Bakery muffins. They go stale fast and waste your money. At first glance, Costco's huge muffin trays scream, "Great deal!" 6 giant muffins. Super cheap price. They look amazing. But the same thing that makes them look so good is exactly why employees avoid them. Costco muffins have 0 preservatives. That sounds healthy, right? Wrong. It means they stay fresh for maybe 1 or 2 days max. By day 3, they're dry, cracked, and flavorless. By day 5, most people throw half the tray away. The funny part? Most customers think they scored a bargain. But when 3 out of 6 muffins end up in the trash, the real price per muffin you actually eat is shockingly high. Employees see this every single day. They watch people return dry, rock-hard muffins that taste like cardboard. Even the workers admit they only buy them when they need to feed a crowd immediately, when every muffin will be eaten before it turns bad. The huge size makes everything worse. 1 muffin is bigger than a normal breakfast. Most families can't finish it. They save the rest in a container. A few hours later, that soft, moist texture turns into dry crumbs. If you really love Costco muffins, there's a way to not waste money. Buy them. Portion them right away. Freeze them immediately. Only thaw one when you want it. That keeps the moisture locked in and saves you from throwing half a tray away. But if you buy them on impulse with no plan, those muffins aren't a deal. They're just expensive trash waiting to happen. 2. Pre-made salads. So many people get sucked in by Costco's ready-made salad kits. Bright green leaves, perfectly layered, sitting under cold lights. They look like the perfect fast, clean, healthy meal. The truth? Most of those salads have been sitting in the back warehouse for days, sometimes longer, before they ever hit the shelf. By the time you see them, the real freshness is already gone. They just look good enough to display. The best buy date on the package usually shows a few days left. That makes people feel safe. But that date doesn't tell the full story. Lettuce edges turn brown fast. Tomatoes get mushy. Cucumbers lose their crunch. All of this can happen while the label still says it's fine. Plenty of containers already look wilted, but as long as they're not expired, they stay on the shelf. Customers pay good money for convenience and bring home salads that even Costco employees wouldn't touch. On top of freshness issues, the ingredients are questionable. To make these salads last longer, manufacturers load them with salt, stabilizers, and additives. You lose the clean, natural taste you were expecting. Price-wise, a giant pre-made salad can actually cost more than buying fresh produce and tossing it yourself at home. If you want a truly good salad, the best way is still to pick your own veggies and make it fresh. If you have to buy the pre-made ones, check carefully. Look at the color, check the bottom layers. Feel if the leaves are still crisp. Go for the trays that were just stocked, because with these salads, the newest thing is sometimes just the sticker. 3. The famous $4.99 rotisserie chicken. That $4.99 rotisserie chicken is a Costco legend. Walk into any warehouse, and that incredible smell hits you immediately. It's impossible to resist. But behind the counter, there's a secret almost nobody talks about. The quality of each bird depends 100% on when you grab it. Some chickens just came out of the oven, hot, juicy, with perfect golden skin. Others have been sitting under the heat lamps for hours, dry, shriveled, overly salty, and nothing like the amazing chicken you expect. Most shoppers rush to grab the ones in front. Those are usually the oldest. The freshest ones are in the back, just brought out. By the end of the day, almost nothing is moist anymore. Some birds sit so long they get pulled because they've passed the safe holding time. Never buy rotisserie chicken late in the day. At that point, it's pure luck whether it's good or not. There's another catch: the salt. To keep the meat juicy and flavorful, the chickens get injected with a saline solution before cooking. That means the sodium level is way higher than you'd think for something that seems healthy. If you watch your blood pressure, that's a big red flag. Yes, $4.99 is an insane deal on paper, but the low price hides some serious downsides. If you still love this chicken, the safest move is to shop early in the morning or right after lunch when fresh batches are coming out non-stop. Show up at closing time? You're rolling the dice on whether that bird in your cart is delicious, or just a salty, dried-out gamble. 4. Frozen shrimp. Costco's frozen shrimp come in giant bags that scream bulk savings. People think buying that much shrimp has to be cheaper. Reality check. When you look at the price per pound, Costco shrimp are often more expensive than sale prices at regular grocery stores, and sometimes even pricier than fresh shrimp at a good seafood market. The real problem isn't the sticker price, it's the water you're paying for. Almost all Costco frozen shrimp are treated with sodium triphosphate. That chemical makes the shrimp soak up extra water so they look plumper and weigh more. When you thaw them, a ton of water pours out. You just paid good money for something you can't eat. Warehouse employees say, dump the shrimp in a colander to defrost, and you'll see the truth instantly. Quality-wise, most of these shrimp come from farms in Southeast Asia, where standards vary wildly. Once you cook them, the difference is obvious. The meat tastes bland. It's tough and rubbery. There's none of that natural sweet shrimp flavor. No matter how you prepare them, they never taste fresh. If you're making a special dish that needs great shrimp, you'll be disappointed every time. Frozen shrimp can still be a budget-friendly choice, just not at Costco. Smart food shoppers go to Asian markets, local fish markets, or trusted frozen seafood brands instead. You'll pay less per real pound, get way better quality, and most importantly, you won't be buying bags of expensive water. 5. Kirkland olive oil. Kirkland olive oil is famous for being a Costco steal. Huge bottle, low price, lasts forever. To a lot of shoppers, it feels like a no-brainer win. But to anyone who really knows olive oil, it's actually a proceed with caution item. The biggest issue? The origin keeps changing. One batch is from Italy. The next is Spain. Then suddenly California. Every switch means the taste and quality can be totally different. You never know if the next bottle will taste like the last one you loved. Real extra virgin olive oil should smell grassy and fresh. It should have a peppery kick in the throat and a beautiful golden green color. Too many Kirkland bottles get complaints for being bland, flat, or barely smelling like olives at all. Independent tests have shown big differences from batch to batch. That inconsistency drives serious olive oil fans crazy. They want the same great taste every time, not a lottery ticket every time they twist the cap. The giant size causes another problem. The moment you break the seal, oxidation starts. Air, light, and heat slowly destroy the flavor. The first half of the bottle might taste pretty good. The second half? Often flat, stale, and nowhere near fresh. That's why a lot of people only use Kirkland for cooking, where subtle flavor doesn't matter much. For salad dressings, dipping bread, or anything where taste is king, they switch to a better brand. If consistency matters to you, smaller bottles or specialty olive oil brands are a safer bet. Cheap isn't the same as bad, but a huge bottle with wildly changing quality is a gamble most olive oil lovers refuse to take. Pause for 3 seconds and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the latest videos. 6. Prepared foods, ready-to-heat meals. Costco's prepared food section is always packed. Giant trays of lasagna, creamy chicken pasta, and meat and sauce. They look amazing when you're tired and starving. For busy people, it feels like the perfect dinner shortcut. But ask the employees who work there or anyone who understands processed food, and these trays are some of the last things they'd ever buy. It's not that they taste terrible or aren't convenient. The real problem is the insane amount of salt. One serving can easily have 1,000 milligrams of sodium or more. And let's be real, the 4 servings listed on the label usually feed 2 adults at most. That means you're accidentally eating double the sodium printed on the package. Most shoppers never notice because they just glance at the nutrition facts. These meals need tons of salt, preservatives, and additives to stay pretty on the shelf and survive reheating. The result? You get a quick dinner, then spend the night thirsty, bloated, or feeling heavy. For anyone with high blood pressure or heart issues, these trays are basically off limits. Price-wise, they're not even that great of a deal. A big tray of lasagna can cost the same or more than buying fresh ingredients and making it yourself for the whole family. The taste is just okay, never as good as homemade. If you want to eat healthier and actually save money in the long run, cooking at home still wins every time. Costco has tons of real bargains, but the prepared foods section? Think twice before you toss that tray in your cart. 7. Giant packs of produce. Those bright red strawberry trays, huge boxes of grapes, or family-sized bags of greens at Costco look like the ultimate deal. Bigger packs, lower price per pound, it feels impossible to lose. In reality, produce is one of the top items people return or throw away. It's not that Costco's fruits and veggies are bad. Most of them start out fresh and gorgeous. The problem is simple. There's way more than the average household can eat before it goes bad. A 3-pound clamshell of strawberries looks amazing in the cart. 3 days later, the bottom layer is moldy or mushy. Giant bunches of spinach, kale, or salad mix wilt, turn yellow, or get slimy fast if you don't cook them right away. Customers complain that the produce goes bad too quick, but usually it's because they bought more than they could possibly use. Buying in bulk makes you feel smart and frugal. Then you toss out a third of it, and suddenly the real cost per serving is higher than just grabbing a small pack at a regular grocery store. The only people who truly win with these massive produce packs are big families, hardcore meal preppers, or folks who immediately wash, chop, and freeze everything the second they get home. For small households, singles, or anyone with a busy schedule, Costco-sized produce often turns into invisible money down the drain. The low price and giant size are tempting, but the race to eat it all before it rots is a game most shoppers lose. 8. Giant wheels or blocks of cheese. Those massive wheels and bricks of cheese at Costco are hard to walk past. A huge block of cheddar and a giant wedge of Parmesan, twice the size you'd see anywhere else, feel like a total score. In reality, the per-pound price isn't much cheaper than regular grocery stores, especially when those stores run sales. For some cheeses, Costco is actually more expensive, and the flavor is just okay. Quality isn't mind-blowing either. The cheddar is fine for grilled cheese sandwiches. The mozzarella works on pizza, but isn't special. Pre-grated Parmesan has usually been sitting around so long that it's lost its sharp, nutty punch. Real cheese lovers head to specialty shops for smaller, higher-quality pieces instead of grabbing a warehouse-sized brick just because it's big. The biggest letdown, though, is how fast it goes downhill once you open it. As soon as the wrapping comes off, the clock starts ticking. Cheese dries out, changes flavor, loses creaminess, or even grows mold if you're not super careful. Most families don't finish half the block before the rest starts tasting off. What looked like a money saver becomes straight-up waste. Unless you cook for a crowd, host parties all the time, or immediately portion and vacuum seal everything for the freezer, those giant cheese wheels almost never pay off the way you hope. Most buyers end up with way more than they need, and the last third of the block is rarely as good as the first slice was. 9. Organic items. Costco loves to display organic products like they're the premium, healthy, worth it choice. But people who actually live the organic lifestyle, including a lot of Costco employees, quickly spot the irony. Most organic stuff here isn't cheaper than at other stores. And because it comes in giant packages, it spoils faster. You think you're investing in your health. In reality, you're often paying extra for food you'll never finish. The perfect example is organic milk. Two 1-gallon jugs look like a steal, but unless you have a big family, there's almost no chance you'll use it all before it expires. Plenty of people end up pouring half of it down the drain. That healthy upgrade suddenly becomes expensive waste. Organic produce is the same story. Strawberries, grapes, and leafy greens already go bad fast. Sell them in bulk, and they rot even quicker. Employees admit they almost never buy organic produce at Costco because they know they can't eat it in time. Organic meat isn't any better. The huge trays force you to portion and freeze immediately. Wait just a day or two and the quality drops hard. Pound for pound, many organic meats at Costco aren't even competitive with Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, or Target, places that sell smaller, easier-to-manage packs at similar or lower prices. Organic only saves you money and feels healthy when you actually eat 100% of what you buy. Throw away a big chunk of it, and your investment in wellness turns into straight-up waste. Costco organics work great for big families or people who prep and freeze the second they get home. For most smaller households, it's just expensive, oversized, and spoils faster than you expect. 10. Kirkland wine. Kirkland wine used to have a cult following. Cheap price, big bottles, and sometimes surprisingly good quality. But it's honestly one of the most unpredictable things in the entire warehouse. It's not that the wine is always bad, it's the wild inconsistency from batch to batch. You can buy the exact same label twice and get two completely different experiences. One bottle is rich and tasty. The next is flat and boring. The biggest downside? You can't taste it first. In many states, wine can't be returned. If you don't like it, you're stuck with it, or you pour money down the sink. And since most Kirkland bottles are 1.5 liters, double the normal size, one mistake means you're stuck with twice as much bad wine. On top of that, the labels give almost zero useful info. No real producer name, no detailed tasting notes, nothing that serious wine drinkers rely on. Some bottles are secretly made by famous wineries and are awesome. Others are just basic table wine with a Kirkland sticker. The average shopper has no way to tell the gems from the duds. That's why real wine lovers usually stick to familiar brands or go to actual wine shops where they can get advice. Kirkland wine isn't terrible across the board, but the risk is so high that buying it feels like gambling. If you want to know exactly what you're pouring into your glass every single time, Kirkland probably shouldn't be your first choice. Costco delivers a lot of value, but not everything that is bigger and cheaper is truly worth buying. What employees share shows that bulk buying easily turns into waste if not calculated carefully. To save money in the true sense, choose what you will finish. Understand the actual quality instead of looking at the listed price, and don't buy on impulse. Savings don't come from a full cart, but from truly wise choices. Did this video help you? Subscribe and help us reach 1,000 subscribers.